everyone. I've been thinking all morning that what I wanted to talk about today was rhythm in tunes and writing tunes. Because I think I've been mostly talking about melody and how to maneuver around notes and go from note to note and to hear things. But a rhythm is a whole big part of writing tunes, and thought I would talk about 3 tunes, all of them starting with a dotted quarter note rhythm, and maybe just explore a little bit of their first parts. Hopefully this will be of interest to you. The first one is the Providence Reel, and I'd say most of you will know that tune. It's this one. That's just the first part, and you can see how it's starting with a dotted quarter note there, da dee da, going into a series of 8th notes. So let's just talk through it just quickly to see what's happening with this tune. So dotted quarter note followed by an 8th note, and then 4 8th notes. So we've got, and then that is followed by a quarter note, and then 2 8th notes, and then 4 8th notes. So we've got, altogether we've got repeat it for fun. I don't think any other tune goes like that. Isn't it funny? I mean, there's only so many notes, as we've said before, but even that rhythm, just going da 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 da, bum 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 bum. I'm not sure that exists in another tune. You'll have to prove me wrong. So here's another tune that starts with a dotted quarter note at the beginning, and a tune again that we know well, which is The Morning Dew. So we've got the dotted quarter note again, and it's kind of going da 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 da. Now remember that the Providence also went da 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 da, and this one is going. And then the next measure, so after we go da 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 da, it, instead of the Providence, decides to continue with 8th notes. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. And the Providence again was da 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 da. Then the third tune that I was thinking would be a nice one to also just explore a little bit is this tune. So it also, well, actually it does something a little bit different there. So let's just see what's happening rhythm-wise there. I didn't think I was going to use the back of my fiddle, but this is perfect. So da 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 da. So that's the first measure of this one. Da 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 da. And then it goes into a bunch of 8th notes again, like the other 2 tunes. Well, like the Morning Dew. Da 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 dee da dee da. Da 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 Well, it'll be an A that'll go into the next measure. So are we thinking about rhythm when we're composing tunes? And I would say very much so. So as you're writing a tune, not only are you, and they happen kind of almost simultaneously, almost like that thing of last week of just learning a tune at the same moment as we're hearing it. As I was saying, that you can talk with somebody and say the exact words like the same time. And in the music too, you can almost play the tune right with somebody as you're hearing them. So at the same time that you're writing a tune, you're almost hearing a rhythm at the same time. Yeah, I think I would have been very happy to have written any of those 3 tunes. But yeah, they're just not all eighth notes. In a lot of cases, when it gets into the second part of the tune, they might abandon what made the first part interesting. So let's see if that's true. So here's the Providence again, and I'll play the first part once, and I'll go into the second part, and let's see what the Providence does once we get there. So we go. Wow, okay, so it's 2 eighth notes and a triplet. Yeah, and if we go back to the first part, let's just see how that all feels. Go with that whole tune, and I know that when I'm lilting a tune, I might be going, but I could almost do it more rhythmically by just going ch, 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 and I'm exploring just what a rhythm pattern, almost at the same moment that I'm working with notes. In the case of the Morning Dew, we've got, let's play our first part and go into the second part. And of course, there's the third part to this tune, but it really breaks it up. So our first part again was dealing with that dotted. And then for the second part, the author of this tune decided to go with a quarter note. And how good is that? Really like it. And now if I go back and just get the start of this other tune again, right. So remember, this was already full of a lot of triplets. And the second part is. And the author of this tune would have been deciding to just go with a lot of eighth notes for the second part of the tune. And then I feel like this 1/4 note creeps in there. And then they do a very nice thing by doing a dotted 1/4 note there in their second part to kind of maybe bring the tune back around. I wonder if they were actually thinking of that. But it makes me happy hearing it. So I imagine that the person could have been composing that tune and been very happy when they realized they could do a dotted 1/4 note in the second part. So again, the thing that I'm talking about is well, not that one. This one. So you've got a dotted 1/4 note, and it could be an A or a B, eighth note, then a 1/4 note, 2 eighths, 1/4 note again, 2 eighths, and eighths to take us out. So this is Jerry Holland's second collection book. Lots of tunes by Jerry and lots of his friends, lots of Cape Bretoners in this book. Quite nice. And the nice thing about going along with a book like this is that you can get some insight into his writing, and even just going along and just steadily doing a rhythm from some of these great composers can be really a fun thing to do. I'm going to put on some recordings of these 3 folks that I'm going to mention for you to listen to these tunes and listen to their playing as well. So this is a tune written by Jerry Holland, JH, for Denny Langto, who is just a fabulous fiddle player, who I finally got to meet maybe 3 years ago. Lovely person, and always I've known his music, and beautiful player. But this was written by Jerry for Denny, and so you can go without even worrying about the notes or the tune or anything. We can just speed ahead and just see how he's laying it out. So da 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 So it's I'm like rapping. Denny Langto. Next up, this is Marcin O'Connor's Inside the Box, Outside the Box, his original compositions. What a great guy Marcin is. If anybody out there knows him, you know. Oh, fantastic. Let's see if I can get this close enough. Maybe not. This might not be so easy for me to just go along. But this is a jig of his that's called Rockin' the Boat. And again, I kind of was rapping on that last tune, and what I'm going to suggest is that we can get rhythms just by looking at the rhythm of the tune. So let's see how much I can get of this. I'll do a little bit of it. Da da da. So it's a jig. So it's da 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 da. I'm being monotone. I'm just worried about the rhythms. Da 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 da. And funny enough, this book doesn't have a repeat there, but it goes on, and I think it's because there's so many little changes from one time through the A part and the next time So it continues there. This I think of as the second part, so I hope it is. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. And so there's lots of nice things you can hear along the way that Morchin has put into this tune. I'm going to go right towards the end of it here because I love that he, as he repeated this part of the tune, I'll just go from here. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. So this is a very bold move here to just go da da. And when you hear the melody of this, I think you'll really like it. But it'll make you think too that maybe when you're writing a tune, you know, you know, you might throw in a Martin O'Connor move from his tune Rockin' the Boat. Here is a really wonderful book by Karnal Sawicki. You might know him from a group called The Fretless, and he's written some really amazing tunes, and he's written a lot of tunes for his band, and but I really like this book. And when I was going to be going on a little Christmas tour with this band called the Turtle Island String Quartet, or the Turtle Island Quartet, they were asking me whether I was able to read, and I went, uh-oh, because I hadn't been reading a lot, and I knew that their stuff could be very complicated, and I didn't want to let them down. I didn't want to let myself down. But this book came in really handy because Karnal's tunes are so cool, and they definitely do things that are not exactly in the Irish world every once in a while, although he writes Irish tunes. But anyway, here's an example of a tune that I would have worked on. And again, I'm going to go back to my rapping. And let's see rhythmically what's going on with this tune that's called 5 Months. There we go. So we've got an introduction, and I'm going to go slow. I'm going to be scaring myself. Da da dum da 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 da. Da 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 and notice where did it go? It went into 5/4 here. Then he holds this one. Da 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 da. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I'm showing you that one because it's closest maybe to a reel at the very beginning of this book, but it has all kinds of interesting tunes and definitely makes a lot of use of that thing of going da 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 da. And so you could probably see that if you dive into a tune book that's going to be doing those kinds of things, then you've just got lots more ammunition to do other kinds of rhythms as you're playing. That's a good thing. So take a look at some of your favorite tunes and see what they're doing rhythmically, says Liz, and and then give a try as you're attempting to write a tune yourself, even if it's just a couple of measures. See what's the difference if you keep a rhythm going into 2 measures, or if you break it up, what kinds of things you'll find when you do that. I suppose I'm thinking a ton about this because I was realizing just how important it is. And I think I've said before that I did do Irish dancing, and it adds a lot, you know, to your tune writing. I think to be connected to rhythm. I did a tour many years ago that was to Africa, and I was mostly a dance tour, and we were playing music for the dancers on that tour. And boy, we met an awful lot of musicians playing for their dancers, and so much of it was rhythm rather than really tunes for African dancing. And there might be some instruments. There was definitely some wind instruments. There were some things that had strings, maybe thumb piano type of things, but they could stay very close and not go very far afield melody-wise. But the rhythm was pretty amazing. And the other reason I was thinking about this is I was coming home the other day in the car, and that wonderful Stevie Wonder song, I have to think of the name of it, where he lets the brass section go, and they go bum da da dum da da dum da da dum da 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 dum da da dum. And I'd say everybody can sing that. I came home, and the next day I thought of it again, how wonderful that was in the car, and I grabbed my fiddle to try to play it. And trying to figure it out was good fun. And yeah, as Irish musicians, we can check that out. I don't know that I could use any particular moments from that tune in an Irish tune, but I might. And I think I have one that's kind of close in a polka that I did on the last album with Jake Sharon. So I'll finish by playing that tune, and I'll do the nice little thing that I think might smack of what the horns do during that piece.